First thing I want to do is discuss or open with a comment about the video, the comedy video by Father Guido Sarducci that you saw. It presents an interesting approach or perspective on college, and I am sure that many of you, and certainly myself when I was in college, had the same question. Why do I have to study this stuff? Why do I have to take blank geology, calculus, geometry, or on the other side, why do I have to take foreign languages, philosophy, when I know that I will absolutely never use it in my professional life and probably even in my personal life? And it's not an easy question to answer because the platitudes are, well, you have to be a well-rounded individual, you have to learn the discipline of training your mind in different fields, and blah, blah, blah. But I think that the answer may be implicit in the function and the mission of college, and most of all of a public institution like Brooklyn College. When I think about it in depth, I realize that our function, all the teachers that you see around, the administration, and all of the other apparatuses that make the college, at the end have one function. And the function is to enable you to move from the ranks of labor to the ranks of management. Society does need leaders. Society needs educated individuals. And this is a way for us to prepare the personnel with the appropriate knowledge to become leaders and to take leadership responsibilities. What's the difference between labor and management? And I thought about it. Labor takes orders. Management gives orders. Of course, everybody takes orders. But labor is really limited. Labor can only execute orders. And very little input or feedback is ever requested of labor. Management must have a broader picture, a bigger view. Management is not a job, is a career. And a career has built in the notion of evolution, and possibly evolution for the better. So progress toward more responsibilities, toward more money. Management is required to have a wider picture. It cannot simply focus on one task at a time. It has to understand how the particular task fits in a much larger scheme. And as such, what college does not provide you with the tools that allow you to move from one task to another, but it ensures the employer that your brain is flexible enough and can be trained. You have confronted areas that are completely outside the realm of your interest or where you had absolutely no previous knowledge. And you learned the basics. You had to figure out how to solve basic problems that you didn't even know existed. This shows to your future employers that your brain indeed can be trained. You can be taken from accounting into personnel. You can be moved from human resources to technological projects. It happens all the time. Every single business of a certain size that I'm familiar with or that I heard of transfers people from one sector to another, not based on the knowledge they have of the new tasks that they have to discharge, but based on the flexibility and the nimbleness of their minds. Well, the very first stamp on your forehead that certifies that you have a brain that can do that is a college degree. Without a college degree, I'm sure that there are very, very many people, extremely intelligent, who do not have a college degree. But employers don't have the time to screen them and to find the pearls among the large ranks of these people. There must be a process in place, and society is what it is, just a series of processes that ensures that there are certain characteristics in these people that will ensure success for the employer, which goes to the crucial point of what labor, what working in general, not simply the labor force, but what working is. Aside from all the rhetoric that work is a way to dignify your existence, blah, 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 blah. Work, if you go back to the metaphor and the fable in the Bible, work is a curse. When Adam and Eve are expelled from the Garden of Eden, whether you believe it or not, let's use it as a myth, as a metaphor, as a representation of a reality, well, they go from a golden age or the perfection of earth and paradise to the earth. And what is the curse that befalls Adam? That he has to earn his living by the sweat of his brow. And for Eve, that she will conceive and give birth in pain. So work is not exactly a reward. It's a punishment. Now, if you think about it, what is your worth as a worker? When you get a job, what is an employer? Why does an employer give you a job? Is it because they are taken by your personality? Is it because they're concerned with your well-being? Is it because they want you to have a chance to fully blossom in your abilities, to realize your inner self? No. They give you a job because they know that if you work and work well, you will make them more money than he or she will pay you. So at the end of the game, it comes down for the person who gives you a job is how much am I going to profit from the activities of this person? And unfortunately, that's the bottom line value that we all have. Now, there are good things to be said about being in management. It has been calculated that over a lifetime of work, let's say 40 years, from 20 to 60 approximately, a person in a position of management earns a total of more than $1 million, more than someone in the rank of labor. If $1 million doesn't seem much, consider that over the course of 40 years, but 25,000 is the difference between a salary of 50,000 and 75,000, a 50% increase. Another statistics that is very relevant is the fact that unemployment among college educated is between 2 and 3%, while unemployment among the non-college educated goes as high as 12-15% for high school dropouts. So there you see already an enormous change in life condition. Second, associated with education there are a lot of tangential benefits: better health, better living conditions, better chances for children, and in general, a much more fulfilling lifestyle.